Hey everyone, it's your girl Kim, and I am now 4 days post-op from VSG surgery. Round of applause. Let me tell you, this journey, not at all what I expected. Not quite sure what I expected it to be. But what I do know is I believe what I have experienced, no one else has talked about. And so I'm gonna share. One, because I gotta vent and get it out. Two, maybe someone out there has a resource for me. And three, just to, give you all an update. So 4 days post-op, what I was not prepared for. No one talks about it. Not one doctor, not one nutritionist, not one YouTuber, no one talks about starting your either right before surgery or right after surgery and how that impacts your recovery. So I am 43 years old. I had not had a cycle in over a year. My OBGYN at my last annual appointment, she ran all these blood tests and everything was normal. And she was like, I don't understand why you're not having a cycle. But what I do know is that probably once you have surgery, your cycle will come, right? So I was expecting my cycle to come post-surgery, even post-recovery. I was not expecting it to come 3 days prior to surgery and it's still being here with a vengeance, okay? So I haven't had any cramping, any cramping. I haven't been moody or irritable, none of that. So I really think the pre-op diet sparked something in my hormones and they've been going crazy ever since. At the hospital, what they told me is that it was probably stress induced. The reason why I don't think it was stress induced is because my life is stressful. And if it was stress induced, it would have come, I'm sure, before. I am sure before. And when I mean my life is stressful, it just means I have a lot going on. I have a job where a lot of people depend on me. I am in a fellowship program that is very similar to a postdoc. I am on the board of a charter school. My husband is a very popular basketball coach, high school basketball coach in our state. And his school is doing so well this season, and so there's been a lot of travel, and I have officially accepted that I am a basketball wife. So when I say my life is stressful, I mean there's a lot going on. With my job from October to last week, I have been traveling almost every other week for the last 3 months. So that's why I say stress, I wasn't expecting my cycle to come before, nor have I been expecting it to stay. And it has been heavy, and I mean really heavy. I mean, I've had to use overnight pads that I am changing every hour and a half to 2 hours. Do you know how difficult it is to do that when you are sore? Not only is it difficult to do that when you are sore, can you imagine how difficult it is to do that when you are in the hospital still sleepy and groggy from anesthesia? Listen here. This cycle has been the worst part of this. This is the heaviest cycle. Nobody told me. And if you are out there going through the same thing I've been going through, bless your heart, because this is a whole mess. Other thing no one ever talks about was that for 4 days, I was gonna have to wear this band. And this band is to signal that I cannot have any lidocaine for 4 days because I must have received some lidocaine or something in my anesthesia. And if I needed to go back to the hospital or if something happened, I would need to have this bracelet on so that they would know not to give me any of that because it could cause a toxic reaction. I ain't never heard nobody talk about no Exoprel band. Also, no one talked about the meds that I was going to have to take post-op and how it would feel going down my throat. And so I've had to take Eliquis. I have to take it twice a day for 10 days to prevent blood clot. And then I have to take another kind of thing for 90 days to help with ulcers so that I don't form an ulcer. Prednisol or something like that. I never heard anybody say that they had to take these meds. A lot of talk about all these vitamins, but no talk about that. And also how it feels swallowing a pill. It is the weirdest sensation. I already had trouble with pills prior. So now to have to swallow a pill, feel it literally going down my throat, feel it literally going everywhere, and then having to wait 5 or so minutes to take the next pill. So I didn't know all that. The soreness that I'm feeling, no one really talks about. Everybody's like, oh, after a couple of days I was fine. I had my chest pain and it was cool. My abdomen is still sore. What happened is I coughed. And when I coughed, I feel like it stretched my stitch. It may not be a thing. My stitches actually look fine, but the area around my largest incision where they actually removed my stomach, that part of my abdomen was hard and very rigid. And when I cough, it hurts like hell. Last night, I had a cough. I could not stop the cough from coming. I felt like my insides were being ripped apart, okay? And I was screaming. My husband was asleep. He didn't even hear, but no one talks about coughing or sneezing, or if you wanted to laugh, or if you wanted to blow your nose, like how all those things would actually hurt because your abdomen is not fully healed. The other thing, so I knew, of course, that I was going to have to prioritize liquids and protein. 64 ounces, well, actually says 48 to 64 ounces. It doesn't sound like a lot, especially if pre-op, that's what you were drinking on a regular basis. Post-op, getting in my liquids has really been a challenge because I'm trying not to get full, because now my full sensation is in my chest, so I'm trying not to get full. I'm trying to also do it while I'm standing or walking, so that alleviates the gas pain. I've been doing a lot of belching, a lot of flatulence, so at least the air is getting up out of me. But when you have that air and you have that liquid and that pressure that it creates, it's not quite fun. So I'll say 4 days post-op. Am I doing okay? Yeah, I have driven a car. I'm about to go drive right now because I got to get out of the house and want a little stir crazy. That's where I am 4 days post-op. I mean, I would show you what I eat in a day, but what I'm really eating in a day is drinking some water. I have protein water. Protein is starting to taste god-awful right now. The aftertaste of the chalkiness of a protein shake is driving me bananas, and I want to stop immediately. I've been drinking, Gatorade Zeros, which have been fine. I have really been enjoying just drinking water, but I know I can't just drink water because I have to make sure that I meet my protein goals for the day. The liquid struggle is real, y'all. Somebody tell me, when does the fun part start? When does this get fun? When? I said I would be honest, while I was journaling this VSG experience. And it is day 6. And while I'm physically okay, I am mentally, having a hard time today. I'm miserable. I'm sad. I think I'm probably grieving. When I cough, it still hurts. I'm still sore. It's miserable. I think for me, getting this surgery was a last resort. It wasn't elective, but it was medically necessary. And this was just the last resort that I had. So, personally, having just failed over and over and over, which is very difficult for, me. Since I am a high achiever. So, admitting that all my efforts have failed. And so this surgery was my only alternative that I had left. And I've been like just hustling, which is what I do, right? I just focus on something until I get it done. I push through. I don't really process my feelings. But I'm miserable. And I don't know like why other people are like, I'm so happy. You know, this is the best choice I've ever made. I'm incredibly sad. I mean, 'cause beforehand, I don't think I had like a food addiction. I already ate pretty small portions, and it just seems like everyone is living their life, and I am struggling, even though physically I'm fine. Like, I'm getting my fluids in and getting my protein in, and I'm on soft and pureed foods, and I'm making a lot of progress. But today really sucks. Today really sucks. And you know, when I had my 1 week check-in with my doctor, he asked, you know, had I been having mood swings, and I hadn't. I've been pretty stable. Today is a very hard emotional day. You know, even getting a call, I didn't know this, but I should have checked my chart, but they did a liver biopsy during my surgery, because turns out I have a fatty liver, and you know, if you don't treat that, it could cause eventually for you to have a liver failure. But they did a biopsy. It's mild, and with weight loss, it should be completely recovered and healed. So, like, that's good, right? But that's what I mean when I say this surgery was not an elective. This was necessary, and it was my very, 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 very last option. And it was not something that I really was excited to do. It was something that I felt I was obligated to do if I wanted to live a healthy life. Today sucks. I don't even know a better way to say it. So I left the house. I've gone on a walk. I didn't even know I had all these emotions bubbling up until I walked outside. And I walked to a nearby park, and I just was like, I gotta let it all out. But for those of you that think like getting weight loss surgery is easy, it's hard. It's like changing your body, your mind, your relationship all at one time, and not having your full energy or your regular coping mechanisms to deal. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hearing me vent. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts. Thank you.